ladies. This is Abby from NV Tarot Reading, and I just did a live on my Facebook page that was all like super amped and high energy, and I wanted to take a second before I go out into or leave my tree house to go into my house and then have my wife deal with me all like so in my little live that I did on Facebook, I talked about this summer solstice that we're in and like right this moment. And I wanted to know, kind of thinking outside of the individual, thinking outside of the self, what was something that we as my little community can do? What is something that we can do to use and harness the energy of the summer solstice, of this new moon, of this the solar eclipse, all this planetary, lunar, and like astrological like energy? How can we use that for our betterness, better, higher communal good? Like, what can we do to harness that energy and put it to use? How can we garner that information and use that fire, that vibrancy, that new energy momentum? Like, how can we use that to move forward? And the cards that came out were, surprisingly enough, I shuffled like for a whole bunch of time on camera and everything. And the cards that came out was the Queen of Wands, the King of Wands, and then the Emperor. And I'm just like, I can't make that shit up kind of thing. And for me, it was just like remembering that we have a voice, I think is the biggest takeaway that I took from just even doing that live, is that we have voices. We have is remembering that we have that energy available to us, that we have these things, because that was like the biggest, loudest, like wands are all about energy, ideas, vibrancy, fire, literally fire. And then the Emperor to me was like a direct nudge or a talk to authority or things in charge. And so it felt kind of obvious, but then I remembered that the individual needs to speak to the, like, whatever that authority system is internally, that marker for right and wrong, or what I'm going to subject myself to, what I'm going to go out and do. Like, we needed to directly challenge that, to make changes, to not just step up and support, but to make forward action, take forward steps and things of that nature. So that's what that live was about. But to kind of balance the super high energy, I wanted to do a community reading on what can we do to support ourselves as we move into this energy. And I'm going to write this down so I don't forget it, because this was made right off the cuff. What can we do to support ourselves as we fight? Maybe not even consider it a fight. As we create. I love that word better. Let's create with this energy. Got it. Yeah. Sometimes you're just proud of yourself. Yeah, I'm just proud of myself. Get it? Okay. What can we do to support ourselves as we create with this new energy? That made me proud. That made me proud. So, I have cards flying out of my set already. What can we do to support ourselves with this new energy? First card's gonna put it right there. What can we do to support ourselves? What can we do? What can we do? Yeah. What can we do? Solstice energy, solar energy, lunar energy. OMG! It's like you can't be on this planet and not be aware. Like, you just can't. I had a card flip over. Where'd it go? I thought I had it. Oh, maybe not. If I sneeze, I kind of feel a sneeze coming on, so if I sneeze, I'm sorry. Just ignore me. What can we do to support ourselves as we create with this new energy? Okay, we're going to stop there. So I got my first card and put it off to the side. I'm going to draw 3 more. Ooh, 3. Oh. I'm just in a jazzed moment, because sometimes these cards, I get impressed and proud how I don't know if any of you are card readers or any of you watching this are card readers, do you ever look at your cards and like, I made that shit up? And that's okay, because it's like, well, it spoke to something in my psyche, it spoke to something in my mind. That was perfect, you know? But sometimes you have cards that look like this and you're just like, that was divineness. So there's no like questioning. There's just, that's just what is. Anyway, as I get my bum all comfortable on my floor, answer the question, what can we do to support ourselves as we create with this new energy? The first card that hopped out of the set was the Page of Cups. And for me, the Page of Cups is speaking, at least to me, directly about this previous sense of immaturity, this previous sense of I didn't know any better, this previous sense of I'm new. I'm new to this. This previous sense, we are no longer in the position to be naive. We're no longer naive. Now we know. You know, there's that whole expression, that adage, when you know better, you do better. Now you know. So it's all choice from here. We all have choices to make from here. And so that's just the perpetual reminder, is that we're all in choice mode here, with the Page of Cups. And there's a lot of emotions that are part of this Page of Cups. The page, you know, cups are an emotional energy base to it anyway. And so there's emotions that, I mean, I'm thinking about myself a lot right now, but I'm also trying to like package this for my community. But even for myself, there's a lot of emotions, and sometimes they're conflicting emotions, and sometimes these emotions don't have words that go with them. There's just feelings, and then maybe even embarrassment or shame or anger or what? Like, there's so much, so much emotions. And so often it can leave us like a bit of a fish out of water. So to me, that feels very descriptive of where we're at, and not just me, but where we all are at. To the people who are watching this, where we are at, that is very descriptive of where we are at. So to how to take care of ourselves. Where's my camera? There we go. Temperance. I love the Temperance card for this, because there's going to be so much high energy. There's going to be so much anger energy. There's going to be so much up. There's going to be so much up. I feel like, though, with all of that up, we do need to remember to take that moment to settle and come back down, and not to be passive, but to be grounded. So to be, if you think about it, maybe even grounded in practicality, or grounded to the heart, or grounded to something that makes you feel stable and steady, so that when you have regrounded, you have recharged, you have recentered, you can then hop back up and run full speed. Because I worry so often about people who are go, 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 go. Are they going to be able to continue that momentum? Are they going to be able to tap somebody in so that they can go and rest? Like, Temperance to me reminds me to find balance, and to find an ebb and a flow, a yin and a yang to it. So it's this here and this there, this land and water. Literally, she's pouring 2 cups together, so it's finding the right ingredients. And then her foot is in the water, another foot is on land. So it's finding this mid-ground, finding this mid-ground, for at least for ourselves, because that's where I'm reading for, is how can we support ourselves, is finding the mid-ground between super high energy, depressive, stagnant state. Let's not stay there for too long, ground long enough so that we can hop back up and run. The 6 of Cups is the next card that I have. 6 of Cups. I love this card because it's generational. It is sometimes about past lives. It is sometimes about the giving of emotions, of thoughts, of feelings, of ideas from one generation to the other. And to me, that couldn't be sweeter. That couldn't be more close to the truth. That couldn't be more exactly what I feel is happening in what I'm seeing occurring. I'm seeing our elders talk about these youngins who are out there, who are protesting, who are doing it, who are putting in the blood, sweat, and tears. Like, they're doing the work so that their generations, their children, have more of these ideals that we said we wanted, that we were said to have been gifted, to have been born with, these rights that have been thrown around, essentially. I love this card for this. I love that this supports. It just reminded me of maybe even looking to our elders to see what they've done, to look at their examples and remember that they have come so far. We can stand on the shoulders of these powerful people who have made it to these moments and go further and go farther from here. That's kind of like, oh, makes me proud. Makes me proud. The last card I have is the Four of Swords. So this is an interesting card to me in thinking about how we can support ourselves. And I think of the Four of Swords as like the eternal rest. And that card has kind of nuanced meaning for me right now. And I'm thinking about it as in the people who have legit died because of everything. People who have passed away, remembering, and it's unfortunate that we have people who are, I guess you could technically classify them as martyrs, but they shouldn't have had to, is I guess my point. But in regards to how to support ourselves, remember the why. Oh, remember the why. Because so often we can get caught up in the anger, caught up in the tit for tat, or caught up in the you did this or they did this, that we forget sometimes. Not always, but sometimes you can say, I appreciate your thought, I appreciate your XYZ. But do you remember why? Yeah. That's a big one for me, right at this second. Right at this second. The shadow card of this pull was the King of Swords. And then the Emperor showed up below it. So supporting ourselves. See, just to me, it's like remembering that them authority figures, they don't get it. They don't get it. It is so much easier to stay the same than it is to change. Change is scary as fuck. So we have to challenge, we have to continue to push, and we're only gonna nudge it just, so far. But that so far those are milestones. Those are mega milestones. And I love seeing them. I love seeing and watching what is occurring and what is happening. And it's amazing to be a part of. It's amazing to be a part of, even somewhat passively, less actively is a better word, less actively than I probably could. And I will make those decisions each time of how I can participate, how is safe for me to participate, how to participate. But yeah, that is my little community reading on how we can support ourselves as we create with this new energy. Yeah, it's coming from the floor of my treehouse. Soon I will have a desk. And then we'll start building this space, and we'll start building little recording locations, and we'll get this glorious little space changed and adjusted to be exactly what we need it to be. I'm so excited. All right, you all. Mwah.